I found that I've had to shave for a few days because I haven't got enough money for a razor, and the electric razor doesn't work. So I can't do my hair. There are problems. So I think it's probably got too many stuff in it. It's clean basically. Can't say that. Good to use a brush and with a brush. And the cuts out around the ordinary razor, not cuts out the potato razor I used to do my faces. I'm running out of it. He's used once in a while. Don't give me a shout out of that, but it's better shape. But I haven't given it a lot of money. And the other thing, I came home the other day from hospital after a heart attack. Actually, after the hospital, local West there with a heart attack. And they gave me an injection. I actually thought it was a lethal injection, actually, but I sort of got better. And I was unconscious for a while, and I got better. I think I was only there about 5 hours. I don't know what it was. So whatever they did, I got better. And they didn't give me any pills to take, so I went out and bought some pills. This stuff I got last. Got a serious heart condition and after. It's probably cauteritis, so I got an injection because I saw it. And that's probably what Jeff Federal's gave me, was the one line manager. I said, he probably didn't kill me, but just make it work, but couldn't give me after that. That's nothing. So that's something you have to keep down because making people ill. And I think a lot of people die of heart attacks quite often because they poison them with anything. It comes from quite young, it affects everybody. It takes like some skin gone, everything gone. Well, I'm 6 years old now. So they've taken out 6 years of prestige of my life and stolen all my money. So that's what they did to me. That's transferable to say the original true. And basically, it just proves the point that the original just, if it was true, they wouldn't do it. It's because they were afraid of being found out they do such a thing. And they accuse me of crimes. I think that's what to do with the crime that they accuse me of. And they're still committing crimes in order to get implicated. And to killing somebody else to get me blamed for the crime is the most terrible crime that can possibly be done. That's done by Christians. And these Christian psychopaths want to bring the world down to the Roman Empire with their own technology, slavery, which they measure with their own sex slaves. It's absolutely awful. They do brain surgery, they say they sterilize wallowing in brains and blood. And they steal money. They just go into a court order and steal money from their bank account. And whatever it is, they're not. And they're boasting about on the bus and somebody shouting down me. That's it. You were outside of them, do what they were. But if history is taking money from somewhere, well, it could be my money, I don't know. And what is it? It's a psychopathic club actually. They go around killing people, stealing money, terrible people. And I think wonderful church there, well, rubbish, it's just a death house, basilica of death. It's no longer a place of worship, it's always just kill people. And then, well, other places have gone the same actually, I won't say where. But anyway, that sort of thing happens. It's over gone wrong. And well, yesterday I received the huge transistor, which is to control the transducer. It controls the current, it controls the power basically by shunting the load. That's all it does. And so I've got a 400 amp winding, which should be the whole current of it. And I did calculate it. And I've got a transistor actually it is, which will take a shunt that current. 100 amps, actually 70,000 amps, that's okay. And it's switched on and off by, there's actually, the idea is since the output is AC, it only shows the positive power cycles, so that should be sufficient. Should be sufficient to bring it down. And the negative power cycles were partially, the power cycles were bi-direct, I'm sure. I put a diode in. I can find a 400 amp diode. It wouldn't be that expensive with them. Or 1,000 amp diode. They do make them quite small. 1,000 amp diode. And put that in seriously. I'll need a couple of connectors, and that will be later. No hurry to do it. I've got no way. I can't do that. I'm working on a circuit for the driver of the transistor. It's on 6 volts. The man had made it 46 AC, so he actually must have got diode in. I don't know what he's done. But and it is originally meant for the drive circuit, but since then I've changed the drive circuit to a lower current, and it's lower power I need it, so the value was a lower power. So it still could be used as a drive. So this is a very good change over. And so that's what we're talking about. So it could still use the drive at the starter, at the ignition circuit, but I'd rather use it as a short circuit, because the ignition circuit is, I said 400 amps in the drive circuit and 5 turns. It's about 500 ampere turns. I'm now using 10 amp circuit with 50 turns, which is 5,500 amperes. So it's the same combination. So the output could be used to show something because it also has 1,000 amps of short term. So I'll turn it off. And it can also be used as an emergency stop by switching the flash on and that sort of thing. So that's simple switching. You don't need a big switch. I just need a high voltage switch. The actual voltage on the actual output potential, I'll call it, is EMF to EMF. Output EMF is about half a volt. So it should be enough to turn the transistor on. And that's the actual transistor turned on by the basic emission circuit, which is 3 volts to 6 volts, it says in the instructions. So I now have the sense card, which is 12 volts, so that is running. So I need to set it up so I can 12 volts AC, I need 12 volts AC source, which is very easy to find, got power supplies, and use that to calibrate. I use a potentiometer and calibrate it so it's going to switch off. It generates 3 volts. And 3 volts output onto the transistor. 30 readouts, so not a problem. All the reasons for that. So I need to buy that. And that's probably about £10. Not too bad. That's the next thing. So I'm buying one at a time. If I had tried to plug it all in myself, I'd be hopeless. You can't do that. You can do one thing at a time. So each circuit I do is eventually that. I mean, it's standard circuits, so you think about it, but everything you do is like that. You know, every step we take is an invention. Every time we move around, that's an invention. We've got to realise that. And these high-level inventions are a result of education and experience, which and this complicated thing we have on top of our heads, which we don't understand. And people cutting it off, because well, they use training. They train people, and that means you get people that always repeat. They're very quick, but they always repeat themselves. They train for weeks to do it. And that's all right. So they do one thing, or one or two things. And if they do, if you first do it twice, that's what they're not expecting, and they don't know what to do. That's the difference between intelligent behaviour and actually robot behaviour. These people, I think they call it, might call vandals, right? But they train in the church, and the church is going around killing people with these people who are trained to do that, among other things. And they also train people to steal money on the street. You know, they talk really good, talk to them, steal your money. And so they use distraction methods, hypnotise somebody and take away their money. Just right, so to speak, steal away. That's what practice is now. That's Christians. Christians are destroying Western civilization. Now they think they're preserving it, perhaps, but actually they're destroying it. Western civilization depends on certain honest trading Jesus, the honest trader, and judges are also in this country. Judges aren't honest. And we're not equal people, not necessarily equal, but and also the capacity for everybody else to trade. Everybody had a master, which is better. The slave system didn't work. Even ancient Rome didn't work. The West, maybe started ancient Rome, but the ideas of the West were in ancient Rome, but the foreigners were going slaves. That's what happens here. People come over here from Eastern Europe and turn into slaves. So often, so languages. And when you sign articles of employment, you become owned by the employer. That's the law in this country, which is pretty foul. In other countries, like communist countries and socialist countries, and most countries outside Britain, that's not the case. Britain are still slaves, and the Muslims are slaves, the Arabs are slaves, for example. For the Western Christians, a Christian who goes into a Muslim country is automatically a slave. But and they're property and they're not allowed to kill slaves or ban them. That's different human food. They did it one time. The Barbary Arabs used to do the same thing as the Christians do. Bash holes through the person's head, got bolts and stuff, stealing up, healing up, and they could be used as riots, the galley slaves. And I think the attrition rate was rather high because they died, which is what usually happens to slaves. They can't cast themselves as right. One thing that intelligence and freedom and consciousness are linked, and they can't have one without the other. A conscious mind is also intelligent and free, and the people without brains, these brains cut off, which are called the cerebrum, most animals, so the whole brain. In the man we call the whole top head cerebrum. It's not true as a cat, but in animals you look at it carefully. In the front part called the telencephalon, that's the cerebrum. It's labelled that, and the rest of the brain, which is separate, with various loads, and also they're concerned with those processes. The human brain all mashed together, but they're not connected together. They're still separated by these fissures. The fissure road separates the telencephalon on the frontal lobe from the stem. It's separate from the small brain, which is underneath the limbic system. So that's we can't see it. A dissection is there, and emotion is controlled by the limbic system. And that goes, and that's smell actually. The sense of smell guides you. My sense of smell is injured because they don't have the limbic system, but it's changed in sex as well. And people say, when my agent sees me, she smells. She sniffs me to see if I think that it's me. So, because she wanted to go by smell, by chemical sense. And of course I can smell her. And when you smell, you smell the natural perfumes, not the stuff they put in the skin that drives you away. The natural perfumes are actually, I can call it the name for it. They attract the mates, and they hold the fleeces together as well. That didn't smell. And the people behave according to the fleeces design are trained, at least they know, to smell fear. If nobody's afraid of them, they go absolutely wrong. No reason to be afraid. And well, I can tell. Of course, you can't be afraid of fleas for other reasons, but and so that's it. And so they smell, and the priests do the same thing. And every day, when you see somebody, you smell them. It's not just a vision. And they train, the Christians are trained to spot this wound on the face. You see, the priest that scars people, he also mark them. And then when they who are like it, they get their minions, they train them by pictures of things, exaggerated pictures, and stories of awful behaviour which are false, and then they design these people to attack people, to train these people to attack people with the mark. And there's different marks, there's two marks on me. There's this one up here, which is there. That's actually a cross-strike hit me, that cross road. And these scars here also knife wounds, and he actually gets in the house and scars it again. That's also that was scars, he's a psychopath. Christian psychopath. He thinks it's high mind and so on, he smiles and so on, never mind. And he boasted about my wife being killed. Well, she's trying to get back to England now. Well, hopefully she probably best if she doesn't actually. In protective custody, you can't come to a place of danger. It's very dangerous here. Once it's inside here, it's all locked, it's more difficult for them to get in. But they can't come to town all along. And the one thing they think, falsely, is that these scars, which are put on by a wound, is actually done in a hospital. Surgery, it's got surgery to make you ugly, deform me, and defect. They can do that. They cut hands off. The Muslims cut hands off. Well, the Christians do the same thing. They scar faces. They also cut hands off and legs off and same thing. And I should have a heresy rather than for stealing. The Christians also cut limbs off for stealing, they cut one away, and so on. So it's a good same thing. And the scars on the face, which have been put there, was done a long time ago. Were saying things that the churches that this priest disagree with, and also because I had a lot of money. It was just after the Second World War, and I had loads of money. So how much it was, about probably over £1 million or £6 million, which I made as a child. That I had a classic, good-looking face, and I was able to earn my life basically, and so I got the job. I wandered into Mobile Studios down the road. I don't think it's there anymore. I think it was Star Wars and stuff, but. And a moon landing, by the way. And when I was there, I was only a child, that's 6 or something. My mother was starving, we didn't have any heating on, and the whole family was like everybody else, looking for work. So I wanted into this place, got work, and I was hired, like America. Oh, you got so much. And I was getting 10,000 pounds just for a walk on park. So I still got money. Well, I was actually, they sexually abused me, lied about it, several people. And I want my money really, it's all with money. And, sexual pressure, somebody who started crying, well, and people who looked after me knew that, they could tell I'm not a criminal, just for my behaviour, and because they were trained to track me. They have to do it, they say they just have to do it. And Kim was a good orator, and they hired him, probably paid lots of money, to make speeches in court, which he wasn't trained in oratory somewhere, and to attack me. And he's not what he seems to be. Clever people with this special horrible people. Cripples after years like that. He's still a cripple. I don't know, but he's a clever man. And he'll say he's been cured, wonderful cure. Of course, he's been practicing for years. That's his presence like pretending he was blind and all the rest of it. Not true at all. He's a psychopathic killer. And Kane, he shows a white cane, strides on the white cane, as if he's blind. Of course, no blind actually works like that. They tap along slowly. He strides along, see permanently. Whether his cane contains a poison dart or really hides one of those swords with a stick, store stick, is all it is. And keep having his way. When a martial artist with a blue suit, which he uses malicious crossing to steal money. He's been doing it for years. And I think he's fighting for the same thing, but a bunch of criminals. Well, I think his father died of Chernobyl, and his mother died of water, and maybe he will. But that's in the future. After we die of Chernobyl too, we will do. But so then when they start, we mark them, and then they train people to attack somebody with the mark, and that's how it works. That's how clever it is. That's all the mess going on for thousands of years, but you know about that. And I still do in this country. The Christians want to bring down society to the low level, so the ordinary people have nothing and rely on the priesthood for money. And they say the church is going strong, won't it? Well, it is, but it's evil. It's the priests who get the money and their acolytes, but nobody else gets anything. And they say if you pay us, we'll look after you. Basically, that's protection money. And when the Normans invaded Britain, the Norman chancellors actually became Catholic churches. But they, the local version of the plan Norman son planned it all, trouble that. And it's started to stay 1,000 years, and it probably stayed another 1,000 years. But I'm pointing it out to criminals over here, and people are real criminals. And I've worked with them, and basically it's awful place. And well, it looks peaceful, people walk about. Some of them have brains, but there it is. They get money, they have food, they have food, because it's full slavers like that. It's like China, they're full slavers. I don't want to have brain damage, that's natural. But, well, anyway, the point is survival, the point thing. And so I once had loads of money, and so when I got older, they let me keep quiet, me to carry on the action of 9 or something. Then they wanted to attack me because 6 was too young. I'm still 9 is still underage. And they used to be raping my co-star, Hayden Wells it was. And they were children. We're always children, we put in scenes all the time. We put a bed together, of course, quite natural. And that was really normal. And she knows who I am. And most actors do know them because they know the story. And it could happen to them. And, well, I think I would say. That's how it is. People very popular actors are often popularised above Jesus, and they attack them. I mean, the Beatles did that. So they got attacked. They shot him. They got somebody to shoot him. So he was shot by a Christian. A Christian, a regular Christian. That's the sort of thing they do. And they're violent people. Well, that's not the only violent criminals in the world. But and they've got the atom bomb and that's what else. But I think they're doing justice and so on. But basically doing it for themselves to give you money. The people who join church and members and so on joining this criminal behaviour are quite rich. And I've seen them chop people's heads off in church over the last 1 year. It's been going on for years. And I left the church at that point. I wasn't regular, but I actually believe the religion, but I got asked there. And they said identified me as a possible deviant. The scars just tell them, that's what they're super for. And the priests trained as well. It's all poorly paid. It's madness. It's all based on training, not based on intellect at all. A normal person can work things out for themselves and look their own way. So they need to learn some techniques and so on. That's part of the process. That's reasonable. But they learn all sorts of things, you like, all sorts of skills. And all person can turn themselves to any skill. But if you damage them, they can't adapt. And so they're training people. And Dr. Cunningham, my GP, explained to me, if you this brain damage, you train them first, you chop the brain out, and the brain stays, so they do it all the setup, which is most people anyway, so like was, but normally little brain. And most working class people have this done to quite young. I don't know what I'm maybe because I wasn't working class, but I did make a mistake, I think, when I was born. But I don't think I can stand for me. And for children of working class people, that means the father has a working class child, so it means a brain damage. The father put a wire to his child's head, and so the doctors come and see and drop the child's head. And they wonder what's done to their child. My child was intelligent, but isn't now. I've heard that cry several times. So in Britain, especially in Britain, maybe not other countries, where doctors do that sort of thing, you just have to kill the doctors before they do that to your child. It's certainly working class people, most men have a brain damage, so they can't find back that's what they've done it for. And they fear of insurrection. Well, generally people who act, they act first. When I have no idea this, I was intending insurrection, I don't intention now. It's warning you. The people in Britain are murderers. The whole lot of them actually, and a whole of it aristocracy are murderers. And that's how they put in a position to kill people. But unless they damage the brain, train them, and that's what happens in the hospital. And they train them while they sleep. And now the idea of certainly how the child can learn to live in the house, and do that and train. If you lock the door, you can't do that at night. That's important. So I found a sliding door with a lock on it, which stops them coming in. And it's the security screws. Those are the locks, can't move it, so the locks. And the people who commit these crimes are criminals. And they're the people they victimise who say they're criminals, they're not, they're the innocent people. And when you fight back, they're known as criminals. And you can't fight back through the law because the law is run by them, they're other laws, so you can't go anywhere. So anyway, well, there's no justice. I mean, in the Bible it talks about judges being corrupt and so on. That's how it is here. You know, if the judges are all criminals, then who's there to judge us? And well, it's only us, what we do. And that's in the Bible. So it's only us, nobody else. It's not higher authorities. Yeah. Priesthood, the priest often actually acts as judge and so on. And that's how it is. It's so it's no justice really. The only person who cares about persons themselves really, and the immediate family, their wife, even their children. And some people, there's two ways of behaving in society. Either you can farm and grow food, cease with selfish, and most people like that. That's the gene, the peace gene. The war gene is the other type of man who will attack people who farm, and steal them, and hold them ransom at knife point to take their money. And not in their interest to kill the farmer, because he wants to produce more food. So most of it is sort of equilibrium. And that, the warrior class is highly respected as sign. It's done that, and they're criminals. And because the ordinary people can't fight them, they can't because they're not warriors, that's the problem. And eventually it settles down. But you get this prisoner-slave relationship, which you get in nature, and with nature, and so the oscillation of the populations. And now we get the presidents eat too many, or rub too many workers, and you get the workers collapsing, and then they'll stop producing food. So the warriors died, the rest of the time, and you get oscillation, and that's called revolution. And of course, sometimes you get workers who will rebel, and they are capable of fighting, but they don't want to. And warriors don't go down. That's the problem. So, you can't really, it's pity you can't find a chemical way of testing for the warrior gene and kill it before it gets born. And that might be a solution. And they think getting the weak. Well, the weak people would work. You know, in Nazi countries, they've got this idea of strong and weak. You know, I've been there, done that. And because I survived basically a heart attack, or what it was, they said, oh, that's very strong. And I wouldn't give any treatment for it. and no treatment. And that's all right. But you know, I was quite ill when I was in this courthouse, which is a death house, and it's not really hospital at all, really. But they keep people there, and you go there to die. And some of them go home, actually, some without treatment. But when I was there, they were giving me, I think, antipsychotics for a week, which is they got from the West, and they're poisonous. They give you heart attack, but they didn't know that. So I was well, got ill, and he said, "If you don't get better, we'll kill you on Tuesday." So that's the end of it. Fortunately, I was taken out. Getting out was very difficult. I don't know who gave me this stuff, but it stopped me walking almost. It may have been the carer, collectively, or the hospital, but no. And I was able to walk before, so I was suspect it was the carer. He may have given me this stuff to stop me running. Well, it almost stopped me walking. It was nearly fatal. Maybe it started. I don't know. So these people, I mean, carers, also the money. Hey, what's the money they can make? All he cares about the money they make. You know, what they've done is how to take what they've done, what they got to me for is how to steal money from me. Unfortunately, in America, attorneys serve the bigger money as well, of course. They make them money. It's a war place. So it's very difficult. And the solicitors steal money from the clients. And the more fuss you make, the more they steal. They don't do what you say. It's a very bad place. And it's in biblical times, you know, go to God and go bankrupt. And it's very difficult. You don't want to separate particularly stuff, but in this case you can't. Christians serving money, that costs them money. And if I don't spend anything, that's gamblers' ruin. They'll go bankrupt first, so I'm not spending any money. So it's important. But I have free lawyers, you know, who dedicate their lives to protecting people like me. Unfortunately, I found that my free lawyer was unwilling to work with. I think he's probably got a sack actually. But you know, she's actually very bad. But it's a very bad system. Some doctors dedicate themselves to say, "Well, those doctors killed people," you know. So you go to a doctor. A doctor is a medical qualified person. I'm a doctor, not medical, I'm a doctor. But that means I'm qualified, skilled, so on and so forth. But they're good doctors, bad doctors, you know. I mean, it wasn't sort of a good atheist and bad atheist, and I was found to be a good atheist. Somebody's ringing me now. It's got to be a gas chamber staff. Hello? Hello, who am I talking to? Oh, good morning, Tina. You're from the death camp, aren't you? The local death camp staff. What do you want? I'm occupying my time. Why do you want to know where I am? Sorry? Yes. Yes, that was the upstairs place in the library. So I can reach you there. What time? Which one was that? I don't remember. The only one I mentioned is the one in the Civic Centre, next to the office outside the library. It's next to the library. Is that right? It's called. I think it's called. What's it called? Cafe upstairs or something like that. But it's in the Civic Centre up the stairs, up on the first floor. All right, it's outside the library, so you can go to the library from there. I can reach you there. What time do you want to see me? That's okay. Go to wear my armour, carry a machine gun. Okay, I'll see you in there. Bye. That was a lady, of course, of Tina. She's actually, I'm not supposed to say she's a nigger, but she is. And I see, I mean, I know people like that, both good and bad, also clever and stupid as everybody else, not from us, but we're all white negroes, basically. People have had a mutation which makes us still white, called albinos, and we're all albinos. White with the Venus, and she was. I don't know what she was. She wasn't in the end. I don't know what she was, but poisons, and so I don't know what she runs, but sometimes for me, and I regard her as a Christian sufferer. very dangerous woman, and terrible place. I know that place. I'm actually I'm named as possibly envy of Jesus Christ. That's what it is. I follow Jesus Christ. They don't. Criminals, and I can't really about it. And she could probably bring gangsters to that. Heavy boys, the heaviest to kill me. Quite a lot. And I don't like her. She probably give me a little feeling, put me in mental. That's what it is. I stop myself. I don't like her. She's a vicious and evil woman. She's after money. That's what she is. Money. And it's driven by money. That's what it is. And awful people. Don't like her. I agree to take a telephone with me so she can contact me, and that's what happened. And I agreed to do that because I can trace that phone quite accurately by telemetry. And vicious people, I hate them. I say because they got jobs as professional, high-paid professionals, they got more money than me. I do have income as high as theirs, but most of their killers. And steal all money and everything else. They can do what they like, just follow form and you get killed. Quite nice. And I'm quite frightened of them. To me, she's a black smudge because my eyes can't see any expression or colour in the face. No, with a white man I can see it, but a black man I can't because they're coloured such a way. It's meant to protect from the sun, but it's the natural colour of man actually. It's just all black, and so some people are coloured, but they're out of they're in a different country. The sun is not so bright here, and they need vitamin tablets, vitamin D, to compensate for the lack of production of vitamin D, because it comes from sunlight and the skin. That's quite well with white, and partly because it's lighter here. Various adaptations, but it's not really adaptations, it's just mutations. Probably the albinos who live in Africa found it better off in this part of the world because it's still light and temperature. They're better equipped for that. They're mutating first, aren't they? And that's just the main motion. The Christians aren't allowed to kill everybody. So I know what she is. She's probably from the Baptist church. So could be. So she's very dangerous, and she'll really have a Baptist with her. So she's probably, she may knife me in the head, or just give me an injection to kill me. I think that's right. And she probably didn't think I'd argue that, but I did. And she's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And because she has the authority of the government behind her, she's a business person. And she probably thinks I must like about her, but quite a nice person. She should be. So I've got to meet her sometime soon. Time. No time before my execution. I always think I'd see these people at the execution. They say all sorts of things. Well, they got control of my mind, basically. And they're going to decide what I do. They'll decide for themselves where I go. But I don't have any choice. If I tell them something, I don't have money. So they stopped that. And they took it because of political reasons. I'm quite sure the reason. But when somebody's out of drugs, they can't look after themselves. But I don't know why they attacked me. Probably for religious reasons. The hospital of Springfield, which is where is a religious prison. And they accused me of crimes I didn't do in order to get me there. They told lies, and Springfield's a gas chamber, and so it's quite dangerous. And most of it does have tranquilizer, and they took tranquilizer as well. They'll be stupid. You'll see if I'm able to go online, you'll see how stupid I am. And really don't understand it. And something else. Violent criminals, that's what they're. Violent criminals. I'm terrified. And but I can't find that because they're all on their side. And it's a very bad situation. And they'll say things, they encourage you to say things, they induce you to say things, leading questions, So that's it. I can't do that. Let them burn, that's what I would say.